further ado, I'm going to welcome our demo team to come to the stage so that they can show us those AI demos. Welcome.
All right, hello everybody. This is great to have such a big crowd here. The first AI collective in the Tri-Valley, and we already have packed out Flourish. I think that's great. So my name is Shrish Premkrishna. I'm incoming at Stanford University.
My name is Thaarak. I'm incoming at UC San Diego.
And my name is Kenny, and I'm incoming at UC Berkeley.
Yeah, so Kenny actually just moved into Berkeley today, and he came back just for this event, so thank you, Ken. But basically, we're all moving into college, and for the past 2 months, we've been focused on getting ready for the next 4 years of our life. This means we've been participating at hackathons. We've won 4 hackathons. We've launched our own startup. We've been getting extremely technical, and we've had the chance to meet some amazing people along the way. It's been a very formative summer for us, and I would say that the biggest reason the summer's been so successful is because we were able to leverage AI, specifically through something called vibe coding.
Yeah, so first off, what is vibe coding? I'm sure you guys have all heard the term before. So vibe coding is using generative AI to write code for you. So it requires a shift, right, in your mindset. So rather than writing all the code from scratch, you're basically directing an AI to do it for you. However, the 3 core principles of programming are still intact. You need to iterate, you need to debug, and you need to test. However, that process is just much faster, and the barrier for entry is much lower. Vibe coding can take your project from 1 to 100, but you need to get it from 0 to 1 by having a solid idea.
So now I want to talk about some of the actual tools that the 3 of us have been using over the summer to build out our products. The first type of tool I want to talk about are AI IDEs. So you can think of an AI IDE as an AI that integrates into your existing coding workspace. It can help with all sorts of things like editing your code and also debugging your code. Some of the most popular IDEs, and I'm sure you guys have heard of some of these, are Cursor, Kiro, and Windsurf. The next type of tools I want to talk about are AI CLIs. And some popular examples of CLIs are Cloud Code and Gemini CLI. I personally love Cloud Code. I use it in my day-to-day workflow, and I think it works great for generating projects. And it can help not only with editing your code, but it can also run your code directly in your terminal. And the third type of tools are AI builders. These AI builders help a lot because they save you a lot of time. They can take your project from start to finish and can build out all sorts of things like your front end, your back end infrastructure, and even deploy your project publicly.
Great, so I think we should actually put this to the test now, and let's challenge Thaarak to build something cool with his workflow. Let's see, does anybody in the audience have an idea for something we can build right now? You, man, right there. Tic-Tac-Toe. Tic-Tac-Toe, I love it. Okay, Thaarak, take us through your workflow, and let's vibe code Tic-Tac-Toe right now. We're going to get to the demo soon, but we wanted to give you guys a full presentation of vibe coding and hopefully get you guys started too.
Yeah, this demo is just kind of meant to show everybody how you can just take an idea from your head and build a product using these different AI tools out there. So the first tool that I usually use is ChatGPT or any LLM to come up with an idea for how I can actually build out the project. So I can just dictate to ChatGPT here. Oh, never mind.
Hello.
Sorry. All right. I want to build a simple tic-tac-toe game. I want you to give me the different tools that I can use to build this tic-tac-toe game. I also want you to give me step-by-step procedures on how I can code this project myself. So I'm going to give that to ChatGPT, and it's going to do some research and give me exactly what I just told it. For a simple project like this, you don't really need to do all this research, but I can actually think of a different tool that I use in my day-to-day workflow that would help a little bit more. And this tool is the Anthropic Developer Console. So if you have any sort of Claude account or Anthropic account, you have access to this developer console. And I just have an empty chat over here. I'm going to click on Generate Prompt. And I am going to just give it a simple prompt. Just tell it in a simple 10 words what I want the project to be. I want to build a simple tic-tac-toe game that I can host locally. OK, so I just gave it a small description, and I'm going to click on Generate. So now what this is going to do is it's going to take some time, do some research, and make the prompt a lot more detailed. So now it's generating this prompt that's probably about a page long, and it has all sorts of details like what are the rules of the game, how you want the game to be set up, and how to actually implement the code. So you can, if you want, you could go through this and make some edits on here if you want, but I'm just going to copy this and run it on Cloud Code. So I just have a new and empty workspace over here, and I'm going to pull up my terminal and use the CLI that I talked about earlier, Cloud Code. So I already have it downloaded on my MacBook, so all I have to do is enter Claude, and it's going to run there for me. I can copy paste the prompt that we just generated, and now it's going to start thinking. It's going to first come up with a to-do list of all the things that it actually needs to build out the tic-tac-toe game. And apart from just interacting with Cloud Code through text, you can do some other things. You can drag and drop files into there. You can take screenshots and add something into there too. So it's all about the context that you're giving the AI, because you want whatever's in your head to actually be built out. So it's going to ask me to accept some files because it is editing my code base over here. Okay, there we go. And then it's going to give me a command to actually run the game so I can run it locally. Let's give it a second.
I always like the.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Sure.
What tool did you use to generate the prompt? Was that Anthropic?
Yeah, so Anthropic actually has something called a developer console.
Yeah,
and
I couldn't see from here, so yeah.
yeah, so this is,
Generate the prompt and then you drop it in Claude?
yeah, exactly. So, exactly.
Yeah.
Uh-huh, of course. Thank you for your question. Okay. Now I'm going to ask it to run this for me.
Is it possible to make it a little bit bigger so we can?
Yeah, let me do that. Okay. Oh, it's coming up with an error there.
Oh, hello.
Yeah. Usually this would generate, but the end goal was to show you guys a fully coded tic-tac-toe game. When we demoed this, it took about 45 seconds to generate, and you could interact with it. And then after that, if you want to make some improvements to it, you could, again, communicate that with Claude. For example, if you don't like the background color, or if you want some confetti to pop up when somebody wins, you can communicate that with Claude.
Yeah, ideally, you're not vibe coding in front of 100 people with 45 seconds. You're doing this at the comfort of your house with a little more stable mind. But this is a great proof of concept, and anybody here can pick up these tools now and get started, right? As Kenny said, you just need to go from 0 to 1, and you can use vibe coding to take it from 1 to 100. So that was a great demo, but how can we use vibe coding more professionally, right, in the industry? Can we take it from just using it on passion projects? Can we actually do it with our professional work? So we actually have an example of this, but before that, let me cite some statistics. Is the slide there?
Yeah, let me try to find it real quick.
There it is. Yeah, Amazon just cited a statistic that said they saved 4,500 years of developer work with their AI tools and $260 million. And JP Morgan Chase was able to have an efficiency boost of 10 to 20% with their in-house coding assistant. We're seeing vibe coding not just be commonplace with entrepreneurs and hobbyists, but also with industry professionals. We actually have an example of this. Over the summer, we were interns at an AI company in New York where we were tasked with building an AI agent for realtors to automate administrative work. We were able to create this AI PDF editor that integrated with the rest of the AI agent. Kenny's going to take you through a little bit of the development process there.
Yeah, so we started out in V0, which we talked about a little bit earlier. So V0 basically builds out the entire front end for us. So we gave it this detailed prompt that we used ChatGPT to make. And then from there, it made this first version, so everything's clickable, and it made the entire front end. So then from there, we had a few changes we wanted to make just to make it look a little nicer, and that finally got us to here, which was our final version. Or no, that is not the final version. This was the final version, right here. All right, so just with simple prompts just like this, we got exactly what we wanted, and from here, we pulled it into our own code base and started building out the back end.
Exactly. So now that we've shown you a little bit about vibe coding, I think we can move on to some demos of the products that we built this summer. We have two main demos to show you that we're pretty happy about, but before that, we can show two projects that we had some fun with.
Yeah, so the first one that we actually ended up fully building out is an AI personal trainer, and we called it Arnold, named after the bodybuilder. And I just want to talk you guys through some of the tools that we use to actually build Arnold, and also some of the tools that are available for Arnold to use it and interact back with the user. So the first tool I want to talk about is for designing the entire front end. We also used V0, and it was able to generate different pages. For example, this page where you can interact with the agent. You can also go through a training page, and there's a nutrition page too. The second tool I want to talk about is what we use for our voice feature. So when we envisioned this project, we wanted to make it as realistic as possible, as if you're actually talking to a personal trainer. So if I toggle this voice mode over here, the AI agent's going to start talking to me, and we used 11 labs to get that feature going. So I'm going to start that really quick.
Voice mode activated. What can I help you track?
Hey Arnold, I just ate a cheese pizza for lunch. So I just gave it something the food that was there, and it's going to think through this. It uses OpenAI's SDK to generate an AI-powered response, and it's going to speak back to me eventually. And it's also doing research on nutritional facts about.
A cheese pizza can definitely be a tasty treat. Just remember, it's all about balance. If you enjoyed it, that's great. To hit your goals of 3,000 calories and 150 g of protein, try to plan some protein-rich meals later in the day. Think grilled chicken, fish, or legumes to boost those numbers. Stay focused and keep pushing toward your goals. You've got this, muscle.
And there we go. But you can, let me stop this real quick. You can also interact with Arnold with just a chat feature, so you can type on here. And let's say, for example, I want to change my daily calorie goal to 1,000 calories. So it's going to generate another AI-powered response back to me. And if I check on the next page, I could show you the meal that was already logged. So we had a couple test runs before this. Those are the other meals. But this is one of the meals right here, the cheese pizza that it did research on. And the other thing that I was mentioning before was that when I give it some food, it's accessing all the data in USDA's database, and it's finding all sorts of nutritional information. For example, the caloric composition of the foods, the amount of protein in the food, fat, and carbs.
So that was one of the demos that we wanted to showcase that was fully built out. We also have two side projects that we wanted to showcase. If you go to the slideshow.
Yeah, I got you.
All right, cool.
Hey, can I ask a question on the?
For sure, we can do questions.
So you are taking prompt or questions that to that interface, calling OpenAI SDKs.
Yes, yeah.
Is there anything else you're doing, or just basically a calling interface?
So the other thing it's doing is it's we gave it the USDA API, and it's accessing the data from there. So when you give it a food, it's looking through USDA's database, finding a match based on the keywords that you give it, and it's returning that nutritional information back to you.
So that is the context you are feeding
Yeah.
to the OpenAI
Uh-huh.
APIs.
Exactly. And there's also another feature on here for the exercise. It works the same way. So it's using another API called the Wager API, and it's used for exercise information. For example, how much calories you burn doing a certain exercise. And I didn't have time to show that off, but it does the same thing with that.
So this is a cool thing that we built. We can call it Shoot Post Startups because it's a family-friendly event. Basically, it's an end-to-end automation that we built that scrapes the internet for trending stories, creates a viral product around that trending story, creates marketing content on Instagram, posts it, and then creates a website listing about that product, all just with this automation on a no-code tool called BuildShip. There's so many tools just like this that you can find online to make your ideas come true. Hopefully, this will start making us some income soon to fund the rest of our projects. But for now, it's a pretty cool side project of ours. Another project that we created, one of our good friends was planning a wedding, and he kept bemoaning about how annoying it was to plan the wedding. So we thought we would make an AI wedding planning agent. Basically, Wendy, the AI agent, can email other people, like vendors and venues, and maintain communication with them until human input is needed. So they can schedule things and then confirm with you if that's okay. Wendy can also manage your guest list. It can send out personalized invites. It can follow up with people who have RSVP'd maybe or RSVP'd not at all. And then finally, it can create and manage your wedding timeline, the day of and also the days leading up to the wedding. It was a pretty fun project. The product, the market fit might not be there. People don't usually come back for more weddings. This is kind of a one-time product, but it was still fun to build, right? Arnold was great too, but the thing that we're really happy to show off today, which Kenny's going to do right now, is Beatify.
Yeah, so our last demo is called Beatify, and we've spent the last few weeks building it out. Yeah, so we've spent the last few weeks building it out, and we actually just launched it as a startup. So it's hosted at that'sbeatify.com, and perfect, I'm signed in. So basically, a little bit of context. I'm a music producer, and one of the things I found hardest about music production is getting your beats out there to artists. And then also artists struggle with getting beats tailored to their preferences, right? So Beatify is essentially like Twitter, but for artists. So for example, this artist here, Kenny G, can ask for a beat. You as a producer can go respond with whatever beat you want. So let's just drag and drop this one. And then you can type in whatever. So AI Collective has the name of the beat. And then there's also an auto-analyze key and BPM button, which will do it for you, but we'll just type it ourselves. So you reply with the beat, and then this way, the artist gets a bunch of beats sent to them based on what they want, right? So they can make these descriptions as descriptive as possible, right? So let's do an example. So imagine Drake gets on Beatify, right? So he's going to get on Beatify, he's going to ask for beats, and there's going to be probably 10,000 plus beats, right? Everyone wants to get beats to Drake. So what we're implementing is an AI feature. So essentially, when you press review beats, you have the option to either heart or dislike a beat. So as you would heart beats, the AI would learn what kind of beats you like, and based on that, it'll show more of those beats. So that way, it's basically an advanced filtering process. And so along with that, Beatify has all of the functions as any other social media platform. It has notifications, it has chats, you can edit your profile, everything like that. And we actually built this at a hackathon, at the Outside LLMs hackathon, which Ash was there for that. And we started off in Lovable. Lovable's similar to V0, but it actually does a lot of the back-end work too. So we built a pretty decent prototype. From there, we pulled it into our own code base, worked on it more with Cursor, got our back-end fully set up with Supabase, so we can store things like users, posts, all of that. And yeah, that's Beatify.
Yeah, if anybody wants to invest, please talk to us after. Right? But this summer has truly been one of the best summers of our lives. We've learned so much, we've built so many cool things, and we've had the opportunity to do things like this just because we were able to leverage AI to the max. Anyways, I hope that everybody here in this room takes away something pretty critical. We're in a crazy new age right now where almost anybody can start creating, can start building, can start shipping. And organizations like the AI Collective are making sure that everybody stays connected and everybody stays informed. I hope we've done our duty here today, and I hope everybody here in this room goes home, finds a problem in their life that they just can't find a solution for, and just decides to make it themselves. We have so many problems that we've just made solutions for, so maybe you guys can too. Anyways, stay in touch, keep coming to more events in the Tri-Valley, and we hope you guys have enjoyed. And again, investors, Beatify, that's beatify.com. Please let us know. Oh, and also, yes, any questions? Let's do a Q&A. Yeah. After a round of applause. Let's give ourselves a round of applause. Yeah. All right. Questions? Yes.
Great presentation, amazing group, youngsters. I love your energy. Like during this time, most of the youngers are in TikTok, we know, but you are building products at this age, which is very inspiring. I'm interested to learn more about your background, your story. How did you all meet? I believe you are from different universities, right? So, well, yeah, just tell us your story, how you got connected, and during summer, what motivated you to work on so many projects in AI and be here today?
All right, this wasn't a scripted question, but this is a great question. I love this. Well, we are on TikTok. We're not above everybody else. We still fall prey to that. But basically, we all went to the same high school, Livermore High School. So we're Tri-Valley locals. We graduated 2025, so just a few months ago. We're all headed to different universities, but we've been friends since 2021. And it's been an idea in our heads to get into entrepreneurship, to get into startups for the longest time. But we never had a chance to make that into reality because we were focused on a lot of different things, like our extracurriculars in high school, getting into college. The college, I mean, I don't know if you guys have kids. The college app process is horrendous, right? But we got in. And once we got into college, we finally had the chance to figure out who we were outside of the high school grind and the college app process, right? What do we really like to do? So that's what we spent the summer doing. We started off the summer by asking ourselves that question, and we were like, okay, let's try out the startup thing. Let's try out this AI thing. And then we just started going at it because the barrier to entry is just that low. I think we started by downloading Cursor, like trying out a few prompts, and then seeing just like the amount of impact we could have then. I mean, we downloaded a few courses, went through it, started building products. We grew together as a team. We started attending hackathons. We started going to events in the city, attended a lot of AI collective events in the city too. It was very organic growth, but this summer has definitely been formative. But it all started with just that one leap, taking that 0 to 1. And I don't think it would have been possible without how easy it is to do this now with AI. And I think I can speak for a lot of other kids too. I see a lot of class of 2029, class of 2028 doing the same. Yeah. Any other questions?
Yeah, so with Beatify, how do you guys actually plan to generate revenue? Is it just going to be ads or like some other method?
That is a great question, Ronan. So, with Beatify, as you can see, like with the example I said with Drake, if Drake made a post on here, I would probably put 1,000 beats, right? And that's not really doing a service for our website. It's just going to spam it. It's going to crash it, right? We don't want people to spam their beats. So what we want to implement is a free plan, pro, premium, unlimited, right? So with each of these plans, you pay a monthly subscription, and it can be, with pro, you're able to post 3 beats a day. With premium, you're able to post 5s. And then same thing for the artist side of things. With pro, maybe the artist can post 2 beats a day, something like that. So basically just a plan that limits the amount of posts you can make. So as people want to make more posts, they can just upgrade to the higher plans.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Hey, so I'm not like an expert on the music industry, so I'd love to do like a report. But like, what kind of like, what's your target audience with like the size of artists that you're trying to target? Like, are you actually trying to go after like Drake level, or maybe like a smaller artist that would be more willing to take beats from like everyday producers? So yeah.
Yeah, good question. So right now we're obviously not going for the Drakes or the whatevers. We are sticking to the smaller artists. So we've actually been talking to a lot of Bay Area native artists and getting intact with their managers, right? So a lot of the managers like this idea too. And we've been talking about hosting events for artists, just showing how we can use Beatify, really teaching them what it is. We want to emphasize that it's not a marketplace to sell beats, but a way to get your beats out there and a way to get beats, right? So right now we're starting off with the smaller artists. As it gains traction, maybe we get the Drakes and the Taylor Swifts, but for now we want to just start with the smaller artists.
Yeah.
So who owns the digital rights?
Sorry?
So who owns the digital rights?
Yeah, so like when you upload a beat, so when you upload a beat, it's fully your rights, right? So you can attach a purchase link for the beat, and from there the artist can buy the beat. So it's no different than posting your beat on YouTube, right? Anyone can go and rip that beat if they really wanted to, and they would just face a massive lawsuit. So it's the same exact thing with Beatify. It's just another way of sharing your music.
It's just more direct. It's linking. You can imagine, like, so many producers are spamming their beats on YouTube, Instagram, whatever. Now we're finding, like, a direct link between the artist and the producer, and it's taking out that middleman. And it allows producers to focus on their craft, because if their beat is good enough, it will get pushed to the top. Simple as that. You had a question back there, right?
Great work, by the way. What has been each of your toughest challenges with vibe coding?
Toughest challenges with vibe coding? That's pretty cool. You want to go?
Yeah, as you can see, we faced an issue today with just the Claude code not doing the simple tic-tac-toe game. But I would say that like you still need some experience in coding to actually be able to vibe code. You need to understand what the AI is giving back to you. So just understanding the simple syntax of code, and it can get pretty complicated. There's very complicated coding topics out there. So that was, every time we make a project and we run into a bunch of errors, there's always difficulties, but then we use the other tools out there. So if it puts out an error, I'll just ask ChatGPT, what is this error? How can I learn from this? Can you teach me a little bit more about it? And with every error we face, we're learning from it too. Hope that answers the question.
Yeah. When I first started, I would get frustrated with Cursor a lot, and then I realized that what Cursor did in like 10 minutes would have taken me weeks to do, so I stopped getting frustrated, and I realized that I just need to start making my prompts better, and then I won't get frustrated. So I think having good prompts for Cursor, which you can also just use ChatGPT to help you make, I think that's really important, and that's something I kind of struggled with for a while, but I'd say I got a lot better at that by now.
Yeah, I just want to build off what Thaarak said. With vibe coding, you kind of reach a cap if you don't have enough technical knowledge to kind of figure out what it's vibe coding for you. But when I look at the Tri-Valley, I just see an insane amount of tech like cracked tech engineers who've been working in big tech for so long, the amount of tech knowledge that is inside your guys' heads could be insane when you match it with vibe coding, right? I'm jealous of my parents. I'm jealous of my aunt and uncle because they have so much technical knowledge in their head that when I put them onto vibe coding, the things that they were able to do was insane, right? Because they just have so much technical knowledge, which they can then use to prompt AI to do. In college, I mean, that's what we're aiming to learn, some more technical fundamentals so we can then use AI, leverage AI to make things even better, right, to scale our impact. Yeah.
So that's a thing I've been thinking about is individuals like myself who have gray hair, your uncle, your aunt, your parents. When I do something with AI, I can spot the errors. I can immediately see, oh, this is not right. How are you guys gaining that knowledge? Because it took me 20 years to get that. It took your parents however long it took them, your aunt and uncle.
Yeah.
How are you guys thinking about gaining that knowledge so that you can, like a reflex, identify this isn't right, I gotta fix this?
I think that's something that comes with practice. Obviously, we're just 18. We've been building projects for only the last 3 months. But like you said, you have the technical knowledge to pinpoint those errors right when they pop up. We've been getting better at that skill as we've been building projects ourselves. But also another thing that I've noticed is with these different IDEs, they have access to different models. For example, the cursor-free model, it doesn't come with the best models that you can use to actually generate code. But for example, the Cursor Pro model comes with better models for generating code like Claude Sonnet 4 and Gemini 2.5 Flash, and they just generate better code. But it just comes through practice, I would say. Once we see errors, like I said, we give it to ChatGPT, ask it for follow-up questions, ask it to educate us about it, and then.
Do you see errors after you try to push it into production and it creates an error, or do you see errors when it provides suggestions and you're like, this isn't right?
Before we push it into production, we usually test it locally, and if there's errors or if we try to compile the code and there's something being generated wrong, then we'll try to understand that better.
I would say it's going to be a huge skill that is definitely going to be up and coming is learning how to debug AI code. Because AI you can tell. One trick, by the way, if it's very confident in the code that it wrote, there's definitely something wrong with it. You have to go through, you have to figure out what it is. I would say we're getting pretty good at it. Sometimes we don't even have to run the code. It's nope, I know that's wrong because I've seen this before. You see the patterns again because it all runs on patterns, right? But I would say it's just something that you get better with practice. And I think AI code debugging is going to be a skill in and of itself. I would say we're getting pretty good at it, which I hope is going to help us out in the future. But yeah, it's a great question. It did take my parents a long time to learn. They do diss on my code a lot whenever I show them what AI generated for me, but it allows us to generate a lot more. I think in college, we're going to go down 2 tracks. One, learn the fundamentals that everybody before us also learned, and then use those fundamentals with vibe coding and create projects way beyond what we could without AI. We're going to go down those 2 tracks, and hopefully in the end of 4 years, we'll have a $1 trillion company, and we'll own this whole place, and yeah. Sorry?
Does anyone of you plan to learn computer science?
All 3 of us are learning different, forks of computer science. So I'm majoring in data science and AI at UCSD.
I'm doing computer science and AI with focus on robotics at Stanford.
I'm doing electrical engineering and computer science at Berkeley.
How are you thinking about protecting intellectual property?
Ooh. That's a great question. Protecting your intellectual property. I think there's 2 different answers to this. For us, it requires kind of a mindset shift in what we consider intellectual property. The code that's in the Beatify repository isn't really our code, right? We're not writing every single line, but that idea and the well thought out functionality and all the networking that we're doing to make Beatify a success is ours. But I would say that individual code in there isn't our code. I would say it's just the work we've done on top of that code is our work, and I think that's something we're able to protect more. Anybody in this room could recreate Beatify, right? It took us 3 hours to make the minimal MVP. So someone here could start making Beatify, but I don't think you'd be as successful as us because we have a music producer on our team. We have 8 cracked engineers on our team, and we're willing to work hours and hours a day to make it a success. I think IP takes a different type of viewpoint in this age with AI. A lot of people can take your idea, but if you're the person who can make your idea the next big thing, then just keep going at it. We're not too worried about it.
I think your funder would help you find that solution.
Yeah, hopefully. Anybody in the room, let us know. Again, I think I've said that already, but yeah. Cool? All good?
Awesome. So many amazing questions. Thank you all, our awesome demo team. So much knowledge, so much sharing.